Tonight, we're going somewhere quiet. A place wrapped in fog and wonder, where the trees whisper secrets and a brave heart begins to bloom. You don't need anything but your imagination, so snuggle in, let your thoughts slow down, and breathe with me. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your body relax, let your mind soften, and listen closely. This is the story of a child and the magical mirror hidden in the mist. In a quiet old town where the mornings were grey, and the sun liked to hide till well into the day, lived a child like you, not loud, not shy, just someone who often asked, but
who am I?
Some days they felt brave, like a lion on fire. Some days they shrunk back, felt small and tired. They copied the others to try and fit in, but deep down they wondered, where do I begin? They smiled when expected. They laughed when they should. But sometimes it didn't feel real or good. They changed how they talked, how they dressed, how they moved, trying to be someone others approved. Then one foggy evening, all quiet and still, they followed a path that led up a hill. It wasn't a path they had noticed before, with twisty old trees and a leaf-covered floor. The fog wrapped around like a soft, cloudy glove, and the air felt strange but peaceful enough. Then deep in the woods, where the silence was wide, they found something glowing with mist tucked inside. It wasn't a mirror with glass and a frame. It shimmered and shifted like water or flame. The child stepped closer, but blinked with surprise. For nothing looked back, just soft, cloudy skies.
Is it broken?
They whispered with one puzzled frown. Then a voice in the mist slowly swirled all around.
This mirror shows more than your face or your name. It shows who you are underneath all the game. But it only gets clear when you start to be true, not to them, not to us, just true to you.
The child stood frozen, unsure what to say, then slowly turned back and walked the same way. But deep in their heart, something tiny had lit, a question that whispered,
Am I ready for it?
The next day at school, things looked just the same. The noise, the routine, the lunchroom game. But the mirror stayed tucked in the back of their mind, like a quiet idea they couldn't unwind. They watched as a group told a joke that was mean, and laughed along too, though it felt kind of mean. Not sharp, not right, not something they'd say, but they did it to feel like they fit in that day. In art class, they painted a forest of red, but quickly they stopped when someone else said, Why don't you draw something better instead? So they changed their whole picture and lowered their head. They did all the things that made people cheer, but deep down inside, they wished they weren't here. They thought to themselves,
I don't know what's me. I change all the time so that no one will see me.
That night, as the fog rolled quiet and slow, they found their feet leading to where they now know. The mirror still shimmered, cool in the mist, and the child stepped up, with a half-clenched fist.
I'm tired of hiding,
they said in a sigh. But showing the real me, what if they don't like why? The fog gently whispered, like wind in the trees. You won't always please them, but you'll finally please me. Then something strange started to show in the glass, not a full picture, but just a faint flash. A sparkle, a shadow, a flicker, a flame. Like part of themselves had remembered their name. They didn't know why, but they suddenly smiled, just a small one. Quiet, gentle, wild. They didn't see everything they had missed, but something felt clearer in the mirror of mist. The very next morning, just after the bell, the child walked slowly, not feeling so well, not sick on the outside, no cough or a sneeze. Just nervous inside, like a shake in the knees. They saw their friend group near the big yellow wall, laughing at someone for tripping in the hall. They opened their mouth, then paused and thought,
That laugh doesn't match what I feel in my thoughts.
so instead of joining, they looked away and helped the kid up without much to say. It wasn't a speech or a grand loud scene, just a quiet act that felt kind and not mean. At lunch, when someone made fun of their shoes, they said with a smile,
Well, I like these blue shoes.
the words came out shaky, but honest and true. And inside their chest, something warm started to bloom. Each time they were honest, they felt something grow. A warmth in their chest, a soft little glow. It wasn't too bright, not a big shiny light, but it made their heart feel a little more right. That night in the mist, they returned once again, with mud on their shoes and a notebook and pen. The mirror looked brighter, like moonlight had kissed its silver-lined edges and whispering mist. This time, a reflection began to appear. A face they half recognized, misty but near. The nose looked familiar, the hair had their curl. It looked like them, but more real than the world. They smiled at the glass, and the glass smiled too. And the child whispered,
I think I know you.
The mist swirled gently and didn't resist, just shimmered back softly.
You're starting to exist. I don't have to change just to get by.
The mirror stayed quiet, but pulsed with a beat, like the rhythm of truth in two dancing feet. The next time they stood by their classroom door, they didn't feel shaky like they had before. Their heart still beat fast, but it wasn't from fear. It thumped with a rhythm that said, I'm here. When someone said, You're acting so strange, they smiled and replied,
It's okay if I change.
They laughed with their eyes and danced down the hall. Not loud, not hidden, just standing up tall. They noticed the quiet ones, just like before, and left little notes slipped under the door.
You don't have to change just to fit in. Being yourself is where you begin.
They shared their old painting with swirls made of red, and one kid said softly, That speaks to my head. Another just nodded and scribbled a star. Sometimes acceptance can travel so far. That night, in the mist, they returned one last time, with a head full of questions and a heart full of rhyme. The mirror was waiting, calm in the glow, and their feet knew the path where they needed to go. This time, no echo, no voice from the glass, just their own reflection, clear at last. They stepped up close and touched the mist, and the mirror felt warm, like a hug on the wrist. They whispered aloud,
I'm not always sure. I'm quiet, I'm loud, I'm messy, I'm pure. I feel things deeply, I cry and I grin, but I like who I am, outside and within.
And just like that, the fog faded away, like night turning slowly to the soft light of day. The mirror was gone, but the feeling stayed near, a soft kind of strength they could always hold dear. So now, when they wonder, do I still belong? They remember that being real makes them strong, and each time they speak up or smile without shame, Their heart softly whispers,
"You know your name."
The world hadn't changed, the building still stood, but the child now saw things they'd misunderstood, like how quiet can sparkle, how stillness can sing, and how just being true makes the smallest hearts ring. They noticed a friend who once walked alone, now smiled at them brightly, like finding a home. They played in the puddles, they danced through the trees, they laughed with their whole heart, light on the breeze. And though some days were tricky, some feelings unsure, their feet knew the path and their mirror felt pure. Not perfect, not easy, but real all the same. So we learned that being true to yourself is the most magical reflection of all. Now, as you drift into sleep, remember that who you are is more than enough. Your heart is brave, your story is yours. And you, just as you are something truly special. Good night, dreamer. Sleep well.